There is just one interest signal that you need to accurately trade liquidity swaps. In this video, I will teach you a simple method to identify a valid liquidity swap on any Forex pair and on any time frame. You will learn why it occurs, and I will reveal the best strategy to trade it for beginners. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's study smart money concepts. In order to identify a liquidity swap, you need to identify a liquidity zone first. Liquidity zone is a specific area on the price chart where market orders concentrate. The zone where buying orders are accumulating is called a demand zone, while the area with a significant distribution of selling orders will be called a supply zone. One of the simple ways to identify such a zone on a price chart is to analyze a historic price action. Here in Eurodollar, let's analyze a recent historic price action and let's try to find a significant liquidity zone here. One of the simplest ways to find such zones is to identify significant levels that the market reacted to in the past. For example, that level. You can see that the price was falling rapidly, but once that level was reached, the market reversed and the sentiment changed from strongly bearish to strictly bullish. It signifies that buyers were buying from that level, and around that level we got a concentration of buying orders. And we have a lot of levels like that. We have such a level right here, we have such a level right here, we have such a level right here. And what is important about all of these levels is that in the past we saw a clear interest of the buyers around these levels. We see that buyers were placing their orders around these levels, and for that reason the price bounced from these levels. Another important thing to notice is that all of those key levels are lying very close to each other, and these levels will compose one single area, a demand zone, the zone with the concentration of buying orders. Remember that you can identify supply and demand liquidity zones on any time frame. Just remember a simple rule that the higher is the time frame, the more significant is the liquidity zone on that. Within that entire zone, buyers were placing their buying orders, and buying orders were accumulating within that entire area. And the recent historic price action clearly confirms that. Curious, last days of big sale. Until tomorrow you can get a lifetime access to my premium group with a 40% discount. Inside you will get the access to my daily live streams, lifetime access to my VIP signals group, 2 trading books and video course teaching you basics and advanced trading strategies. For more info, check the link in the description below. Don't miss your chance, traders. One more thing to note is that zone was broken. Hourly candle closed below that, and after a breakout, a demand zone turns into supply zone, and we will assume that in future sellers will start placing their orders within that zone, and the selling orders will be distributed within that area. After you identify the liquidity zone, you can look for a liquidity swap. After a breakout, the price dropped much lower, and then reaching that low, the price started to grow and the price retested our supply zone. And here we can spot a perfect example of a liquidity swap. In order to trade liquidity swaps effectively, you should know why it occurs and why it is one of the core concepts in SMC. Take a look at that candle. That candle is very important because that candle has a very long tail, and the tail goes way beyond the boundaries of that supply zone. So why we call that a liquidity swap? Because we assume that within that entire supply zone, sellers are placing their orders, and when the price enters that area, higher it goes, more and more and more selling orders become active, and the sellers who are selling most likely are placing their stop losses above that zone. That will be the levels where the stop losses of the sellers are lying. And with the liquidity swap, smart money are stopping out the sellers. They grab their selling orders and they make them close their positions in the loss. And one of the main confirmations that we have a valid liquidity sweep right here is the fact that after this violation, after the liquidity sweep, the price quickly returned back within that zone and then respected that and started to fall. Such a price action is a very reliable indicator of a market manipulation. After you identify the liquidity zone and the confirmed liquidity grab, the only thing that is missing is the entry signal. Once you spotted a liquidity sweep of a supply zone, do not sell immediately. Patiently wait for a clear sign of strength of the sellers. To spot a reliable confirmation, analyze the candlesticks and the price action. You can see that after a liquidity sweep, the price formed a bearish engulfing candle, a strong bearish candle that engulfed the entire range of a previous bullish candle. Such a candle is also called a bearish imbalance, and that can be your signal to sell. Also, you can see that we got a nice minor demand zone. Right here we have a minor intraday liquidity zone right here that the price nicely respected, and the violation of that zone and the breakout of that zone can be a signal for you to sell. From such a perspective, I suggest setting your sell limit order on a retest of that broken structure, of that broken minor liquidity zone. Set your stop loss strictly above the highs of a liquidity grab. That will be the safest stop loss for your trade, and you can simply aim at current lows. That can be a goal for your short trade. After the identification of a liquidity grab, the first entry signal that you can spot is the candlestick confirmation, a formation of a bearish imbalance candle. And if you miss that signal, then just wait for a violation of a minor liquidity zone. That will be one more reliable signal to open a trading position. What I like about this trading strategy is that it is very simple and straightforward. You just need to follow 3 simple steps. Identify a liquidity zone, wait for a liquidity sweep, and then wait for a signal. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. Also, don't forget about Big Spring Sale. Until tomorrow, you can get the lifetime access to my premium group with a 40% discount, signals included. For more info, check the link in the description below. Also, cheaters, please watch my other videos.